Alright, back with Steve from Tricked Out Cycles. Little interesting predicament had happened to me coming to work on Black Friday. And this is what happened coming to work on Black Friday. Yeah. Let me tell you a little about that story. Okay, so coming to work that morning, same way I come every day. Usually hit the gym every morning before work, so I'm coming down the street. Car stopped up ahead of me, waiting to make a turn. About a half mile ahead of me, I continued down the street around 40 miles an hour. Car's still sitting there because there's a truck coming out of the street, and it was such a narrow street, she couldn't make the turn until that truck pulled out. At least I didn't know that at the time, but that's what the situation was. So as I proceed to get closer to her, I see she's not moving. Go to hit the brakes, no brakes. Yeah, so I kind of swerve out of the way last minute, clipping her in the back right of her vehicle. I spun around, shot around, pushed her into the truck that was pulling out of that street, and that was that. I have a quick little clip of it right after the scene. I'll show you in a bit, but yeah, first time getting in an accident. Been in a couple bike accidents, but that was the first time getting into a car accident, and seemingly my fault. Didn't realize really lost the brakes, just thought the vehicle didn't stop because it wasn't like all the way to the floor. Just I pressed them, but nothing happened, no brake reaction. So it's going 40 miles an hour, no skid marks, straight into the back of this vehicle. Thank goodness nobody was hurt, nobody severely injured. You know, everybody got out, we talked, everything was fine. So a few minutes later, police officers get there. You know, we're there. I'd called one of my techs to contact the tow truck so we could get my vehicle towed. Cops arrived, are questioning everybody, see if the girl that was in the car hit was okay. Gentleman in the other truck, he was fine. Checked me, I was fine, and they tend to ask me, how fast were you going? I was like, you know, I was doing the speed limit, 40, 45, I don't know what it is. I drive this road every day. 5 minutes later, he comes back. So how fast were you going again? I said, just like I told you, I was going 40, 45, whatever the speed limit is. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about that right this second. There's not a sign right here. That's what I was doing. Okay, no problem. That's it. Vehicle gets towed from there. Everybody leaves. We get the vehicle towed back to my shop because we don't need it towed anywhere. We're mechanics here. I want to evaluate it. I've owned this truck since new. I write insurance estimates, not on trucks, but the adjuster's going to come out here. I know all about this procedure here. So tow truck driver arrives back with the truck probably about 2 hours later because the people who towed it from the accident scene had to get it to their lot, then switched from one truck to the other truck and then bring it to my lot. So when we received the vehicle at my lot, mechanic got in the truck to, you know, get it down because they're gonna winch it down to the tow truck. So driver gets in the truck, he's like, yo, there's no brakes in the vehicle, brakes are to the floor. We didn't really think anything of it at that point because the truck was wrecked. You seen the front of it, busted out. We have a wheel that's a spare on it now because it busted up the factory 22-inch wheel. But there was no brake damage. Brake lines, everything's intact. Just cosmetic damage, wheel damage, lower suspension damage. So as the truck gets parked there, they leave it there, no brakes, no problem. We're just looking at it, staring at the front of the truck, just trying to get a grasp around how much repairs are really gonna be needed. So we're looking at the truck, and then by a chance, just notice something dripping from out of underneath the truck. But it's dripping under the driver's side front seat. So, a little bizarre. We get underneath the truck trying to figure out what's going on. Here it is, the brake lines were so rusty, they rusted a pinhole, and I lost all my brakes. So, that was the true cause of the accident, was brake failure. So, upon further investigation, it appears GM, General Motors, Chevy have a big problem with putting inferior brake lines on their trucks. They're running standard steel lines instead of stainless steel. They rust out so bad it has become a safety problem, and it's well known that I now see. Did some research, almost some class action suits trying to form. They're getting a lot of backlash from the government and everything as far as national safety for vehicles and everything. So this is a big issue. So thank goodness it wasn't killed. Little shocking, strange incident. It turns out to be a GM problem with faulty brake lines that they put in a vehicle that rust out prematurely. So pretty interesting. Not that much, a little informative, but the real kicker is a week later I get 2 tickets in the mail, which shocked. Got a ticket for speeding. Said I was going excessively fast downhill speeding. It says and I also got a ticket for crossing the yellow lines. It's kind of strange. Avoiding a vehicle, I get a ticket for that. So we're going to find out what that's all about. I actually go to court tomorrow, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. So I'm going to keep the film rolling for that. Hopefully I can take it inside the courtroom, keep you all posted. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out, because I'm not one to take it lightly. I don't want that to go on my driving record like I'm a faulty driver. I had faulty equipment on my vehicle, and my insurance company took care of everything. So that's what insurance is for. I'm just curious of why the police felt need to give tickets in that situation. You have an accident. It's an accident. There's no speeding. They couldn't verify any speeding. There's no skid marks. So they're just making up speeding, and they're crossing a yellow line. I would think to avoid an accident or ricocheting off of a car would that's a law, crossing the yellow lines. I'm not really sure on this, so I'm gonna get some clarification from the judge and the police officer who wrote the tickets tomorrow, and see where their head's at on that, because I'm really curious to see how this pans out. Just for my own thing, the ticket cost, it's not a problem. It's a principle now. I want to see what the reason was for ticketing me, and I'm going to let you all know how this pans out.
I think it's pretty.
All right, you're back here with Steve. Just got out of the courthouse fighting the 2 tickets that were given to me for losing my brakes and having an accident. Well, you come into the police station, the cop pulled me into the room, said, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "Why am I here? Why are you fighting these tickets?" I was like, why would I not fight a ticket? I didn't even know I was getting a ticket. He gave me a ticket for driving excessively under the weather conditions, that it was perfect clear morning. And then the second thing he gave me a ticket for was crossing the yellow lines. The guy was a jerk, pulled me in the room, acted like he was unbelievable, like he was Hitler in there. Like no reason, talking down to me like he had a stick up his ass. So we get into the judge room, the stick's still right up his ass, and he's trying to hammer me down. So I called him a flat out liar. Told him he doesn't know what he's talking about. He wasn't there. He has no evidence. He's trying to tell me the third car that was hit said I was driving excessively. I was like, are you really going to bring some hearsay into this, stating that? Judge looked at him, shaked his head, said she's doing me a big favor. Threw both tickets out. So one for tricked out cycles. You know what? Cops do your duty, protect us. You know what I mean? But this nonsense is just unnecessary. So there was nothing racially motivated about this. It was just, a simple accident. But, when you have an accident, it's an accident. They should be worried about your health, how everybody is, not just getting a ticket. And I learned today, in Warrington, if you have an accident, their policy is they must give somebody a ticket. That is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. You know what? If somebody has an accident, they should look for the facts and see if it's an accident. If somebody's at fault or somebody broke the law that they can prove, write a ticket all day long. So that's it for me. Time to get back to work.